Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading A Multi-Characters Listener by me. So let's get into it. Kazuha. Kazuha is such a sweetheart sometimes. However, that does not excuse him from doing some things that he might usually do under other circumstances. Like maybe just saying poetry about you out of nowhere when you're in public. Sure, it was the most romantic thing to do, and perhaps it would have been better. But even worse, sometimes, he even does that when talking to people, saying poetic nonsense to them. To you, it was not nonsense, but to them, to just someone who wanted to sell vegetables and groceries, it very much was. They just wanted to get on with their day, and really did not have time for his monologuing. But he just knew he would learn in time. Perhaps he was a little bit used to people in the area appreciating it, but sometimes, in the fast-paced world, it would not be very appreciated. You do like listening to him, though, and so far, you have only gotten some weird looks every now and then. No one tried to pick a fight with him. Yet. Heizou. Heizou's embarrassing things include him being an absolute tease. He has no consideration that while you might be in public, you may not want this very much, and it was not the best course of action to take. However, it just so seemed that there was a problem, because some days he is really clingy, and he would not want to let you go for the entire world. And I mean it a little bit too literally, because everyone could be looking at him, staring and thinking that you are being weird and all, and he would not care at all, because he enjoyed having you by his side, and that's honestly all what mattered to him. What do you mean there are old hags looking at you? He couldn't care less, and that's why he kisses you in public, hugging you tightly, and stroking your hair, an arm around your waist whenever you're gone around, and trying to pick things. He flirts with you, quietly and loudly alike, and does not care for anyone, and as fun as it is, it can be just embarrassing sometimes because of the looks you get. But other than that, you truly love Heizou, and you appreciate all of what he's doing because it makes you so happy. Happier than you could have ever imagined. Albedo. Albedo's a little bit, well, the least embarrassing one, to be honest, but sometimes he does try to make things embarrassing, but only in a safe environment, at least for him. So you could be in his lab, and all of a sudden, the two of you would be going somewhere secret, and he tells everyone that you're going to work, but then he takes you to a corner of the room where he would have his things stacked, all the papers and all, and anyone could come at any time, but he doesn't care, making out with you, at the risk of anyone finding you, and it makes you blush, and also it makes things all the more exciting, but it's not worth all that sacrifice and risk. In your opinion, those things should be strictly kept at home, or places where they should happen. Not here. Not at your work, where everyone can see you. I mean, they currently aren't seeing you, but what if someone walks in? It would be horrible. And nevertheless, you always go out and he teases you. And everyone looks clueless. But one day they'll figure it out. Especially with that embarrassment written all over your face. Venti? Venti was only truly embarrassing when he was drunk. And also, whenever he was trying to give advice to kids and his advice was being lazy and not caring about things. Perhaps he was not the best role model, but that's what the Archon of Freedom would say. But the embarrassing situation that you are dealing with right now included him being drunk, like really drunk, and you're an angel share, again. To be quite honest, you felt like you were about to get kicked out any moment now, because Venti was yelling very loudly and singing, and you might be a good singer on average, but when he's drunk, you best cover your ears. Because whatever Venti's singing, it won't be pretty, and certainly It's not good to hear any of that, especially if you're going to have a headache, much like the Luke-san over here. He's honestly tired of you, so he just tells you to take him out, and you can stay if you want. But he won't just do that. So, blushing or embarrassment, you grab Venti and go, and scold him, knowing you'll always forget. Perhaps you should scold him when he wakes up, but you don't have the heart to make him sad, so that's why you do it when he won't remember. Scaramouche. Scaramouche is only embarrassing when he tends to be clingy or when he's really angry, because then he will start acting out. You could be at a restaurant in Mondstadt for vacation, and he'd be spouting nonsense about him haunting the Gnosis and being the true deserving archon of Sumeru. And people would be looking at you weird because what the hell is he saying? That's when you know it's time to go, and sneakily try to get him to shut up, but he hardly ever listens. The other times, though, it's when he's super clingy and sleepy, and just wants to wrap his arms around you no matter where you are, wanting to hold you and bury his face into your shoulder. It didn't matter that there were people around or that anyone could be looking at you. He just wanted to be with you now. And to be honest, that's what mattered most to him. So screw what anyone else said or thought, because the Scaramouche had his own personal priorities to care about, and in his own opinion, they were very much more important than anyone else's, which he was quite right about. Tighnari? Tighnari is a lot less embarrassing than anyone. Screw Albedo. He's the least embarrassing one here. But some things that you feel like are embarrassing when he does them is maybe with the way he acts sometimes and talks really rudely to some people, perhaps even the elderly. He doesn't care about them sometimes, especially with how annoying they can be. But sometimes you just feel ashamed, even though you know everything he's saying is correct. And some other times, you're just a little bit embarrassed because of how affectionate he is. But he's only really affectionate with you in public because he doesn't care about what anyone else says. Or if anyone thinks you're being overly affectionate, that's their problem to deal with. If they don't want to see you, then they better turn around and go on about their day, instead of staring at you. To be honest, you would agree if it were anyone else. But people are staring at you too, and by extension, you. So it meant that you were getting a lot of looks. So then, you would tell him to tone it down, which he would try to oblige to, of course, since he does not want to make you uncomfortable.